the 13th, we couldn't get the record because we couldn't get back within the hour. And the 14th was the 50th anniversary of Chuck Yeager breaking the sound barrier in the air. And on the 15th, we got the record.
Well, I mean, basically we knew we could do it. Andy drove that car timed 5 times through the sound barrier. We knew we'd do it. All we got to do is to get 2 runs back to back. Because the rules say you've only got an hour in which to turn around and come back in.
Every day was really a stepping stone towards the eventual goal. I guess it's a sort of sense of relief. It's just more of the same, really.
It was kind of really odd because in many ways it wasn't like any other day until it actually all happened. So I would get out there, wake all the kit up, you know, get the satellite talking and all that sort of stuff, and we'd left it on overnight because we always have a crew camped out in the desert looking after stuff. So I'd get all the kit woken up, kind of, you know, log in the morning, put a little bit update up, just say we're up and we're about and we're doing stuff. I'd get into the telehandler because it only did 17 miles an hour. We're at like mile 1 and I've got to get to like mile 7 or something, so you kind of better get going.
There were people up in the mountains watching the whole thing. And on the beginning of the day, the crosswind was too high for Spirit of America to run. They had a much smaller car, and the crosswind would knock them off. It's too dangerous. So they gave over the desert to us, and they announced it over the RT and said, "We are relinquishing the desert to the Thrust SSC team. Godspeed, Andy Green." And the rest of us just opened up the throttles in our vehicles, and we all charged out. And the guys sitting up in the mountains just watched us all come out like rabbits out of a bolt hole.
But actually standing on the midpoint of the desert and watching this car come up faster than any airplane you've ever seen, like a huge black locomotive in complete silence, because it's travelling faster than sound, so the sound's left behind. And then there's an enormous double bang, which is bang, bang, like that. Americans always call it baboom, which is the best way of describing it. And those were the shock waves from the front and the back of the car passing you as it goes past.
That shockwave went through the town of Gerlach and it set the sprinklers off. And it caught up with various people as they're moving away from Gerlach.
I never heard the supersonic boom because the supersonic boom went forwards. You see it on the video, the BBC video. It went forwards really strongly. It went upwards because there's some really good footage from the air of it, and it went down into the desert because you could see the pulverising.
Euphoric, and the whole desert, and you know, because of 300 square miles of desert, it's a huge area, but the whole area suddenly filled up with people flying in, landing on the desert. We were swamped by people all cheering, and I mean, quite extraordinary atmosphere.
The sheer exhilaration of standing on the desert and watching a car initially do the speed that this one did and then go through the sound barrier was incredible. You know, it's self-satisfaction to the extreme, I think.
One sat running out in tears, bursting, you know, crying quite openly. I've seen history. I've seen the supersonic run. You know, it's that excited.